Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Yoga for Kickboxers series. Today we are going to do a little bit of a faster paced yoga session. So last time we did yin, which is really slow, and we're going to go back to yin next time. But today we are going to be doing a vinyasa style class. So this is where we pair movements and breath together. So one breath, one movement. So one inhale we move, one exhale we move. There will be some slower times in it as well. But we are going to focus on the full body, getting into our arms, our legs, and also some balancing, because in kickboxing, when you're like balancing for your kicks and things, balance is super important. So we're going to come to some balancing poses as well in today's class. So today I do recommend having a block. If you do not have a block handy, then use a book, or a couple of books, one on top of the other, just to give yourself a little bit of space in some of the postures. So we're just going to pop that to the side and we're going to begin sitting on our bottoms. Just in easy cross-legged pose. If this is feeling a little bit tight for you, you might extend your legs a little bit, give yourself some space, just make it really comfortable for you. And if you feel like you're rounding through the spine, maybe take a blanket and just place it under your bottom so you can sit up slightly taller. And then bring your hands onto your knees or your legs, wherever they feel comfortable, and just close down the eyes and take a moment and tune into your breath. So the breath is really important in today's class, so just get to know where it's at, how it feels to breathe in your body today. And then we're going to start to pair some movement with the breath. So as you inhale, we're going to bring those shoulders up towards the ears, and as you exhale, lower them down the back. Inhale, bringing the shoulders forward and up, and exhale, back and down. So move with your breath here. So your breath might be faster or slower than mine, and that's okay. You just allocate your movement to your breath. And then when the shoulders come down, opening the eyes. From here, we're going to take that left knee and bring it towards the center of the mat. So the knee is coming out in front of you. We're going to take our right knee now and cross that over the left knee. So we want to get our knees one on top of the other. If this feels like a little bit tight, because some of us have really tight in our hips and things, and this might not be so accessible for you, you can take your right foot and place it just down beside the left leg. If you're still feeling like this is really tight, just extend the left leg. It's all about making each pose work for you. So wherever you are, lengthening up tall through the spine. If you do have your knees one on top of the other like this, then you might take your hands to your feet for a moment, just finding that grounding here. If the one leg is extended and the other knee is up towards the sky, you might just bring your hands down beside you, just doing what feels good for you. And then coming back to that breath, noticing it. And then from here, we're going to reach that left arm up towards the sky and then bend at the elbow and send that right palm towards the upper middle back. Take the right arm out beside you and swinging that round, bringing the elbow towards the ground. And you're going to take your hands and you're going to either clasp them together, or if they don't quite reach one another, just hold on to your clothing. Finding that length in the spine as you breathe here. Getting into those elbows, the chest, and shoulders, sorry, not the elbows, the shoulders and the chest, and into the hips at the same time. Now we're going to add a little movement here. So as you inhale, open up a little taller through the chest, and as you exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower over the legs. Holding here for a breath. And then coming up through center. Releasing the clasp of the hands, and instead of just allowing them to fling back, just taking your time, being really mindful with the movements as you bring your arms back down beside you. And then extending the legs long. We're going to switch legs this time, so right knee is coming in front on the ground and then left knee on top. And again, remembering your options here are long leg, right knee up towards the ceiling, or just tucking that right foot in, beside the left hip, right knee up. Finding what works for you, coming back to that breath for a moment. I have hair, when you have long hair, it ends up everywhere. It gets frustrating. Turning back into that breath after that distraction. And then this time we're going to take that right arm out beside you, bringing it up overhead, turning the palm towards the back, and then allowing that palm to come towards that middle upper back. Left hand's going out, bringing it down, sweeping it around, and clasping the hands together or clasping your clothing, whatever works for you. Breathe in here. And then adding that movement if you want to. So inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Holding here for a moment. I'm really feeling this in my left hip, lower, bottom area. Just noticing if you're feeling it there or where you're feeling it. There's no right or wrong. It's just about really noticing where it's coming up, where the sensations are coming up in your body. And then coming up through center, releasing the hands slowly, mindfully, and coming back to sit. And we're going to swing over and come into tabletop position. So knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And we're just going to take some gentle cat-cows for a moment. So as you inhale, open up through the chest, dropping the belly towards the sky, towards the ground. Exhale, curving through the spine, middle of the back is going up towards the sky this time. Dropping the belly on an inhale, looking forward, and exhale, round. Inhale, exhale. And coming back through center. This time we're going to tuck those right toes, send them back, and lifting it up in line with the hip. Taking that left hand out towards the top of the mat and extending it long, lifting it up. Taking an inhale, and as you exhale, round through the spine, bring the knee and the elbow together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Again, your pace doesn't have to be the same pace as mine, just moving with your breath today. One more time. And then extending that arm long, releasing the left hand to the mat, and we're going to take that left foot to the outside of the mat, ground down into that left hand, and open up through the right hand. Balancing here. Breathing. Now option to bend into that right leg and taking the right hand to the right foot, clasping around the foot, and then pressing that foot into the hand to really open through that front body here. On your next exhale, release the foot mindfully. coming back through center and back through tabletop. This time tucking the toes on that left foot, sending the foot back and lifting it up in line with the hip. Extending the right arm out, lifting the hand. Taking a breath here, and on your next exhale, bring the elbow and the knee to meet. Inhale, extend it long. Exhale, round. Moving with your breath. Last one. And then extending it long, keeping that back leg lifted, lowering the right hand. Tripod that right foot out to the outside of the mat and extend the left arm up. Option to bend into that left leg, sweeping that hand back to meet the foot, clasping around the foot and pushing into the hand to open through that front body. Slowly releasing that foot, coming back through tabletop. Now tucking the toes, and we're going to inhale here, and as you exhale, lift the knees slightly off the mat, just hovering here, activating that core. You do a lot of core work in your kickboxing, so just activating that core here in your yoga too. Then from here, we're going to begin to lift the hips up towards the sky. And you might need to walk your feet back a little bit, or your hands forward, whatever feels good for you, to find your downward facing dog. Now everybody, we're going to begin to bend through one knee and then the other, just walking your dog a little bit. As we begin to get into the backs of those legs and lengthen through the spine, we just want to give ourselves a little space and time to stretch that out. Then really bend into the knees, because we really want to focus on that length through the spine. And then once you've done that and your spine is long, begin to lengthen through the legs. Just however much feels good for you. Bend your knees, look between your hands and step forward. Find a half lift. So we want to lengthen through the spine here, creating a long line from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Your hands can come either to the floor, the shins, or the thighs, whichever one gives you the most space to create that length. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet. And inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. So from here, we're going to bring our arms down beside us, roll those shoulders down away from the ears again, ground down into the feet. Your feet can either be with big toes together, heels slightly apart, or hips distance, whatever feels good for you. Ground down into those feet, lifting up through that legs, tilt that tailbone under ever so slightly. Find length through the spine, shoulders down away from the ears, palms face forward towards the front of the mat. As you inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, find that half lift, lengthen through the spine. Then exhale, plant the hands and step back through plank. Lower the knees, and we're going to move our chest forward slightly so our elbows stay over our wrists. And we're going to lower down halfway in chaturanga, then push through, lifting that chest in cobra, hands by the ribs as we lift up through the chest. And then exhale, sending the hips back, tucking the toes and lifting back to that down dog. Inhale, bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find length in that half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find length, half lift. Then plant the hands and step back through plank. This time, option to keep the knees lifted. As you move that chest forward, so your elbows stay over the wrists, lower down halfway. Then push through and up into a higher cobra. Knees are still on the mat here as you open through the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, back for down dog. Breathing in your down dog. Inhale, bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find length in that half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet. Reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lifts the hands. Exhale, folds you forward. Finding length on an inhale and stepping back to plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale to cobra. Option to lift the knees and the thighs off the mat for upward facing dog. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lifts the right leg. Exhale, steps it between the hands. Lower that left knee and lift the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, drop those shoulders down away from the ears. Bring the palms together in front of the heart, and we're going to lean forward over that right leg and take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee in a twist. Coming back through center on an inhale, reaching those arms up, and exhale, hands to the mat. Now this time we're going to send the hips back over that left leg and lift the toes of the right foot, coming into half splits. Breathe in here. Then on your next inhale, coming forward over that front foot. Exhale back. Move with your breath here. So inhale, coming forward. Exhale, sending the hips back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And this time we're going to hold as we come back. So as you inhale, find length through the spine, and then exhale, fold over the leg. Any amount. You don't have to go far. I'm really quite tight in the backs of my legs, so for me, I don't go that far. Just listening to your body and where you need to go today. Rolling back through that front foot, lifting the knee of the back leg and stepping back through plank. Come through your version of chaturanga into your cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale back to your downward dog. Inhale, lifts the left leg. Exhale, steps it between the hands. Lower that back knee and sweep those hands above the head. Exhale, shoulders down away from the ears. Palms come together, leaning forward. Right elbow to outside of left knee in a twist. And inhale brings you back through center, reaches those arms up overhead, and exhale brings them to the mat. You know where we're going, so as you exhale, sending the hips back over that right hip, over the right leg, toes of the left foot come up. Breathe in here for a moment. Then on your next inhale, coming forward over that right foot, exhale back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, send it back. Moving with your breath. And on this next one, we're going to hold it back here. So as you inhale, find length through the spine, and exhale, fold any amount. It's also really natural for one leg to be tighter than the other, so if you're finding that, know that that's totally normal, totally okay. And then rolling forward, planting the hands on the mat and stepping that left foot back. Come through your version of chaturanga into your cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find length in that half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet. Reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find length in a half lift. Then plant the hands and step back to plank. Come through your chaturanga into your cobra or upward dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, lifts the right leg. Exhale, steps between the hands. This time I'm going to keep that back leg lifted as we inhale, lift up into high lunge. Exhale, drop those shoulders down away from the ears. Bring the palms together in front of the heart, leaning forward and taking that left elbow to the outside of the right knee in a twist. Option to expand this here by reaching the left hand to the mat, right arm up. Then bringing the palms together. And this time we're going to lift up, breathing here. And we're going to bring the hands down to the mat in front of us and begin to walk that back foot in. So your hands are coming towards the front of the mat. And then from here we're going to lift that back leg off the mat, coming into half splits. Or standing splits, sorry. So that back leg is lifting however much it needs to or wants to. And your right hand can come around your right ankle. Left hand can too if you feel like you've got the balance there today. I do not. Listening to your body and what it needs. Then releasing the right hand from the mat, stepping that left foot back, coming back through your lunge, lowering the left hand to the mat and opening up the right arm. Coming to the pinky toe side of the left foot, and we're going to sweep that right foot back to meet the left in side plank. Lower the right hand to the mat, come through your chaturanga into your cobra or upward dog. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale, lifts the left leg. Exhale, steps it between the hands. Lifting up on an inhale. Exhale, shoulders down away from the ears. Palms together. Leaning over that front knee. Right elbow to outside of left knee. Option to stay here or option to extend that right hand down towards the mat and left arm up towards the sky. Bringing the palms together and lifting up on an inhale. Exhale, bringing the hands to the mat. Walking that back foot in a little so you can extend the hands down to the mat. Lifting the right leg off the floor for standing splits. Left hand can come around that left ankle. Breathing here. And you can always bring your block under to lift you up a little bit more if you need that support today. Then mindfully stepping that right foot back down to the mat, right hand to the mat, open up to the left side. Rolling to the pinky toe side of the right foot and stepping that left foot back to meet the right, side plank. Left hand to the mat, come through your plank into your chaturanga, cobra or upward dog. Exhale to down dog. Bend the knees up between the hands and step forward, finding your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now as we inhale, we're going to lift, ground down into that left leg, lift the right knee off the mat. Like it's on a marionette string, lifting it up. Then as you exhale, we're going to send that leg back towards the back of the mat, leaning forward, creating a long line from the heel to the crown of the head. Now bringing your block in here, either to the medium, highest or lowest height, whatever feels good for you. I'm going with medium. And we're going to take our left hand, the block under our left shoulder, the left hand under the shoulder, and we're going to open up the right hand to the side of the mat for half moon pose. Breathing here. And if you need to adjust your block at any point in time, you can. Now, option to stay here with this, or option to bend into that right leg, reaching the hand for the right foot, and opening up the front of the body like we did when we were on the mat at the beginning of class. And if you feel your balance is a little off today, no, that's okay. And if you fall out of it, just come back into it. Releasing the foot and the hand mindfully, coming back through your half moon, lowering the chest towards the mat, pointing those right toes towards the mat. As we come through that warrior three again, bringing the palms in front of the heart, and then lifting that right knee up into the chest and lowering it down. Now that is not easy, and if you feel like you fell out of it, it's okay. Come back to it at any point in time. These transitions are tricky. Now grounding down into that right leg this time, lifting that left knee up. Breathing here. And then sending the left leg back towards the back of the mat, leaning over, creating a long line for warrior three. Then from here, we're going to bring that block in under our right shoulder, bringing the hand down to it. I'm going a little higher on this side. And then open up to the left side, left hand towards the sky. Oh, my balance on this side is really off, but that's okay. Breathe in here. Now option, if you took it before, to bend that left leg, reaching the hand for the foot, opening through the front of the body. And these are all just options. You don't need to come to any particular place, just doing what works for you and your body. And then extending the leg and the hand, coming back through that half moon, bringing the chest towards the mat, toes of the left foot towards the mat, coming back through your warrior three, and lifting that left knee up in front of you. You can bring your toes to the mat in between poses, and then lowering down. Bringing those feet in under the hips, or big toes together, heels slightly apart. Grounding down into the feet, shoulders down away from the ears, finding that firm, stable ground again. Inhale, reaching those arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Find length in your half lift, and then plant the hands and step back through plank. Come down through your chaturanga into your cobra or upward dog, and exhale to down dog. From here, lowering the knees to the mat, big toes together, send the knees as wide as the mat, and sink down in child's pose. Walking the hands back towards you and lifting up and coming to sit on your bottom. You might want to move forward on your mat, because we're going to bring the feet in front of us, extend the hands long and lower down. Walking those feet in towards the hips, your fingertips should just graze the backs of your heels here. We're going to ground down into those feet, lifting the hips up off the mat for bridge pose. Now, option here to clasp the hands behind the back and walking those shoulders in and underneath you to lift you up a little higher. And as your hips and your chest begin to lift, chin comes up towards the sky. Breathing into that front body here. Unclasp the hands and lower down. And bringing the knees in towards the chest. Sending the feet up towards the sky, and you can take your hands behind your knees to your ankles or to the outsides of your feet for happy baby. Option to sway a little from side to side, finding what feels good for you. And then releasing the feet, bringing them back towards the floor and taking any final movements you need before extending the legs out long, allowing the feet to just drop open. Hands come down beside you, palms faced up for your Shavasana. This is your time to just allow all that we've done today to integrate into the body. And beginning to lengthen the inhales and the exhales. Taking some movements through the fingers and the toes. Allow that movement to get bigger through the wrists and the ankles before stretching the arms overhead and taking a full body stretch. And then bending the knees and rolling to the right side. Pausing here for a moment just to find space for gratitude for your body, for all that it does for you. And then when you're ready, coming up to sit. Taking one final inhale together, reaching those arms up overhead, and as you exhale, bringing the hands down in front of the heart. Bring your hands to your forehead and remind you to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to your heart center, reminding you to have clear and loving intentions, and hands to the mouth, reminding you to have clear and loving communications. Thank you so much for joining me today on our yoga practice. I hope you've enjoyed this yoga for kickboxers. Bringing the hands to the forehead and lowering down in Namaste. If you did like this class, then you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this or follow along on this journey, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to see when videos drop. I would love to talk to you guys in the comments. So if you've enjoyed it, if you haven't enjoyed it, if you have any questions, let me know. Like, I just want to know, where you guys are at, what works for you. Have a conversation. That would be awesome. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again real soon. Bye for now.